guys, how's it going? It's Zahait here, and we're back with a brand new episode of shapezIO, and this is our Shapez Industries playthrough. Guys, in the last episode, we started making a little smelter area over here, and you know what? I started thinking about it after, and I didn't like it. So I changed it up a little bit. Now, I've done it without you guys, but I'm hoping I can come through here and kind of explain to you what I've done. And it's a messy system, but I'm gonna explain the general layout at least so that you understand what I was trying to do. And then hopefully we can progress some more together afterwards. So, to start with, before we were looking at things and then smelting them together, and I thought about it some more after, and I was thinking it's probably better, instead of smelting right away, to combine the quadrants that are the same color together first. Because if they're together and they're the same color, then they can be smelted, but if they're... I don't really know how to explain it. I can have a smelted shape and another corner together and be the same color. So it just made more sense for me to smelt it first and, it made more sense for me to put all of the same color together first and then figure out if they were smelted. So basically what you're seeing here is this area here. I have 4 of them. It looks like a lot, but this is making 4 full belts of stuff. So I only need 1 system actually right here. And all this is doing is taking stuff from each of the belts if they're the same color. So I'll go through the computer stuff in a bit, but all that's happening here is I'm taking each of them if and only if they're the same color. So you can see here that the top left corner and the top right corner are green. So it's pulling them down, and I have a series of mergers here because there's different ways. If all 4 of them are the same color, then this merger is gonna go, this merger is gonna go, and then both of those items are gonna go in here and they're gonna get merged together. And then it's different combinations of whatever corners are the same color. So I use a different set of mergers for a different one. So there's the first one. It takes each of them. Then ignore the next 3 because they're all doing the same thing. But then after that, I have to check if the second one and the third one and the 4th one are all the same color or any combination. So basically what I'm doing is checking each quadrant here to see if it's the same color as the first one. And if it is, then I send it down to get painted. The next one, all I'm doing is checking if the quadrants are the same color as the second one, but I've already checked if the first and second are the same, so I'm not checking it again. I'm just checking 2 and 3 and 2 and 4. That's it. Then, once we get through all that stuff, wherever it is, I don't even know anymore. I think it's in here. No, right here. This is it. So in here, I'm checking only 3 and 4, because I've already checked 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, and 2 and 4. So the only one left is 3 and 4. So just 2 belts coming in, 2 belts going out. And voila. They are in fact the same color. So we're pulling them down, we're merging them, and we're setting them up. So here I needed 3 sets of mergers because there's a whole bunch of different combinations that this stuff can come in at. But then when you get over to here, the second portion, the 2, 3, and 4th quadrant, I only need 2 mergers. And then for the last one, because I'm only checking 3 and 4, ta-da, only 1 merger per system. So this whole system here, all it's doing is checking the same color quadrants, putting them together, merging them together, and setting them on their way. And as far as the logics, oh man, guys, it's really gross. What I'm doing is checking the top and the bottom. Here's the top side, there's the bottom, checking them, and then I think somewhere Yeah, so right in here, I'm taking the shape, I'm cutting it into top and bottom, cutting it into quarters like this, and then I'm just taking the colors of each one, and then this is just a mess of stuff, but me comparing if they're the same, and if they are, send the signal down. So this one is actually checking the position number 1 and the position number 2, and if they're equal, which they are, it's sending a 1 signal down. Bam. And similarly with this one, it's probably checking 1 and 2. This one's checking 1 and this one's checking 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. And then I'm doing a bunch of stuff with those. I don't even want to go through all this. It's just a mess. It's a mess. Long story short, if the corners are the same color, they come down here and they get merged together to go and get painted later. Man, I'm really running out of funky squares. Oh, you know why? It's because I'm using them in 2 spots. I'm using the diamonds in 2 different spots. Yeah, it's not the best. Anyway, we can actually turn this off now so that that can fill back up again. We don't need this anymore. So basically, yeah, this whole system is like this because the bottom 2 are the same color, and this one's like this because the top 2 are the same color. Ta-da! Then what I've done is I've moved over here. This is where the smelting happens. Now this thing, basically I'm checking if the shapes are smelted together, and to do that, all I have to do is cut the shape into quarters and then compare it to the shape that's not cut. If they're the same, then obviously they're not smelted because I cut it, put it back together, and stuck it together without smelting it, and it's the same as what it was before. So using that logic, you can tell it has not been smelted. So since it's not been smelted, it's going to overshoot. Just going to go right through this gate. Nothing's going to happen. But if it was smelted, what would happen is it would get sent down here into my laser cutting machine. And then the laser cutter is actually programmed based on which sides are smelted. So this whole thing over here just does the same thing I was doing before, but a bunch of times. Compares quadrants to the uncut quadrants. If they're the same, then they're not smelted. And then after all that's done, it knows which pieces have been smelted together. So I was testing it out here, which is why there's some shapes in there. But basically it cuts them, sends half that's not smelted through to get merged back up, and sends the half that is smelted down here to get smelted, and then sent back up here to get merged with the piece that I got cut off. And then it sends it back on its merry old way back into the factory. So what I should end up with at the end of this spot over here is just completed shapes that are the same color. If they're smelted, they'll be smelted. As long as they're the same color, they'll be there. Now the way I have this set up is anything that's connected to the first quadrant is going to be here. So if it's a if it's one solid color, all four corners are the same color, it's just going to be here. This is the only belt that's going to have stuff. If 2, 3, and 4 are the same color, I'm going to have one shape in here, and then the other shapes are going to be in here because this is anything that has 2 in it. So the same thing, same thing, same thing. This belt most of the time is going to be empty unless the 4th quadrant is its own color, which is unlikely. So most of the time, quadrant number 4, these 4 belts are going to be empty. But whatever, it is what it is. So using that same logic, what I can do is I can just check quadrant 1 and paint anything that comes through this belt that color. Check quadrant 2 and paint anything that comes through that quadrant that color, which in this case is nothing because we're already painting it. Check quadrant 3 and anything that is purple will get painted. And then check quadrant 4 and anything that's purple will get painted, but we've already painted the purple stuff, so it's empty in this case. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need. So there is my factory to mix shapes together and smelt. Sorry, mix quadrants together that are the same color and smelt. Because you can't be smelted together if you're not the same color. It's impossible. So we're merging them together first and then smelting them after. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I don't know. I'm sure there's a bazillion ways to do this and do it better and do it more efficiently. But this is just what I've come up with here. I got a whole bunch of logic down here because you can't have a situation where, say, 1 and 2 come down, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 come down, and then quadrant 3 comes down and goes into this merger, because it'll just get stuck in there and it'll never get pushed through. So what I've had to do is, if quadrant 1 comes down and quadrant 2 comes down, then quadrant 4 will come down and get funneled over to here and then down through here, and a bypass everything to get put on down here with quadrants 1 and 2. It's a mess. This whole system is a logic's nightmare, but that's basically what I've done. I can maybe go through it in more detail in future, but you know what, guys? I just wanted to kind of tell you what my system did, because the actual logics are a mess, and I'm not even sure that it works 100%. It seems to be working right now, but I don't know if it's going to work for every single shape that comes through, so it's something I'm going to have to test as we start using the MAM, actually. But, I mean, there's that. So the next thing we have to start working on, obviously, is getting colors. And the way I see the colors working, I mean, we've already kind of talked about it here, is I'm going to need a maximum. The way I have this set up, I need a maximum of 1 of each color per layer, or 1 of any color per layer. So using that to make, well, to paint this whole thing, I could need up to 4 different colors per layer. And if I use double painters, that's going to be 2 full belts of paint. And if I'm making 4 of them, I need 8. Oh my god, hang on, I need a calculator. I think I screwed something up already. So 4 colors times the double painter gives me 2 full belts of paint, which is where we were at, times 4 layers times 4 potential shapes. No, 4 belts full of shapes. That's 32. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, because I don't want to set up enough paint to be able to produce 4 belts full of shapes at maximum production if I have a situation where I've got 4 different colors on every layer, because that's going to be a lot of paint. I think if I can get 1 set up, if I can make 1 full belt and have it set up to work 1 full belt with 4 individual colors on each layer, that will be good enough for me, because most of the time that's not going to be happening, and we'll be able to produce more. We'll just produce more straight up. So if we use that as kind of our worst case, then I need one color, or 4 colors per layer with a double painter is 2 full belts, times 4 layers is 8 belts of paint. Oh, that's still a lot of paint, guys. I think I'm thinking about this wrong. Basically, if I'm going to use 1 full belt production as my limit or my go-to, then if I have 1 color on this layer here, and I'm going to use a double painter, then I'm going to need a half a belt per layer, which means I need 2 full belts of every color, potentially, worst case, to make a minimum of 1 full belt of painted shapes. I think that's right. 2 belts of each color. Now, the worst situation that I see happening, I think there's 2 belts or 2 colors that use 2 of each primary. So for example, I think there is one. I guess I don't need all of this. I think there is one shape or one color that uses 2 blue and a red. And I think there's also one that uses 2 blue and a green. So that would be my worst case situation, is I need both of those and 2 more belts of blue. Okay, so that one's making purple. Let me just set up that same factory here, but with green. So this one should probably make like teal or something, or light blue. Yeah, teal. So the worst situation as far as paint is concerned is I end up with a purple, well, the equivalent of a purple, a teal, a blue, and whatever, like this purple. Because then that would be 2, 4, 6 belts of blue. Yeah, that's 6 belts of blue to do that. So I'm gonna need 12 belts of each color. Yeah, I think so. Of each primary color. I'm gonna need 12 belts of each primary color. I think that's right. It's gonna be a start anyway. We gotta get started. We need 12 belts of each primary color. And then the question becomes, where do I want to do the painting? I think I'll bring these shapes maybe around... Oh man, how do I want to set this up? Okay, so all I've done is get a bunch of paint. That's 12 belts of each color. I think that's going to be enough. If we said we needed a maximum of 2 full belts of any color, and assuming the worst case situation of 6 primary colors to do 1 layer, I should need 12 of each. Worst case to do 1 full belt, I think. This is a lots of colors thing, so if you aren't using lots of colors, then you are not going to need near this many. I think you would probably only need 1. You'd only need 6. You'd need half as many, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you'd only need... Oh no, you'd need 8. You'd need 8. You would need, at worst, 4 different colors, and each color could use blue, for example. So each one takes 4. Yeah. Times 4 layers is 16. Divided by 2 with a double painter leaves you 8. So you would need 8 without lots of colors. So it increases it by a little bit. Like 50% increase if you use lots of colors. Okay, now we have to start actually making the colors. And I'm wondering how I want to do this. Well, if we need 2 belts of every color, minimum, then I guess what I should start to do is start getting these colors out first thing. So here is 2 blue belts. Ta-da! There's our blue belts. That was easy. I'm gonna need more room. Okay. Oh my god. Then what's next to do? I guess we're just gonna need a whole bunch of paint mixing plants. I could make some kind of like super mega paint mixing plant that makes all the colors as we need them, but I think I'm just gonna, for simplicity, I'm gonna copy this over here so that it's handy. For simplicity, I think I am just going to make a whole bunch of little paint mixers. Oh, Oh, this is gonna be a huge pain in the rear. Oh, I'm not happy about this at all. Okay, hang on. How do I want to do this? Okay, so all I've done is bring the paint over, get it out. So we're gonna have this huge belt of paint coming down here. Then all I need to do, I think, is get a whole bunch of mixers and start mixing the paint as I see fit. So actually, if I put that like that, it would be better for me to not bring a second belt of blue right away. What a pain in the butt. Okay, so I don't want the second belt of blue until I get over here. Yeah, that actually works nicely. Okay, let me go like this. Pow, pow, pow. And I guess, why not? We'll use the first one will be red. So we can get rid of that. And then instead of going down, we will go up. Okay. We'll bring this up here. And then we gotta put this back in somewhere. Probably here. Okay. So there's that. I hope that's not going to be in the way. Ooh, it's going to be in the way. It's going to be in the way. Okay. Damn it. I got to move this whole thing down. And this is gonna not be pretty. I need it down here somewhere. I don't know where yet. Let's just put it there for now. Oh, now I gotta reconnect all of these wires. I hate everything. Alright, so I'm almost done this part. Guys, I also have to apologize. If you're watching this and it's just the worst thing ever, I'm sorry. This is my first ever MAM. I didn't even make one in vanilla because we were just about to in my last series. And then these mods came out and I just couldn't help myself. I had to try. So this is literally my first MAM ever. And as you can see, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. I need 2 more belts of blue. And I left 1 space, so we can go something like that. And I don't need that one. Let's just keep it neat and tidy. Then this one will come through. Looks good. And this will go up all the way, actually, to here. So now we're gonna have 2 belts of blue, 2 belts of purple soon. I just have to get 1 more belt of red. Okay, perfect. Looks good. I want to keep this tidy. If I don't need a crossing belt, then I don't want to use a crossing belt. All right, so there's our 2 belts there. Now we may as well use up 2 more belts of blue. 2 more belts of blue. Let's copy a couple of these. We'll get 2 belts of blue for the green one. Okay, and then we gotta bring the green one down right there. Okay, that should be good. Then we gotta put the green... Oh, I don't want that belt. We're gonna need the belt crossers again. And we want to get that somewhere up here. Okay. Ugh. I mean, it's a work in progress, guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this detail. We're going to work our way down through all of the paint until we've made every single color. Ugh. Wish me luck. Alright, guys. I think I finally have the paint set up. Oh my god, this took forever. I had to restart it. I wasn't happy with the way things were turning out. Oh my gosh, we finally did it. Hang on. Let me just finish these last few pieces here. Get this cleaned up. There should be 10 colors here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Why is there 13 colors? Oh yeah, that's right. There's 7 default. 3, 6, 7 default colors, and then we added 6 more. That's 13. Oh my god, 13 colors. Okay, so this is what we're going to be sending into our factory now to get painted. And we should be able to make 2 of up to any 4 colors that we need. Oh, at maximum production. Okay, so what I did is I realized after I couldn't just stop my belts because I am only bringing 12 belts in here and I need more than 12 blue belts. For example, I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I need 20 belts of blue to be able to make all of the colors. I don't need them all simultaneously, but I do need them all. So all I've done is just set up a bunch of 4x4 mergers. I could have done like a 12x12 merger, but too lazy. So I just did 4x4, and then I mixed 2 4x4s. And then after all of that, I mixed up some more 4x4s. I don't know. It's probably not perfect, but at least this way I can split off, make paint, and then balance the belts after split off, and then bada boom, bada bing. We've got them all. I actually didn't need these extra 4, like we just said. I needed 24 and I doubled it. Or I needed 20 and I brought over 24, so let's just delete all this extra stuff and make sure we don't screw that up. Okay, so there's our paint factory. What a mess. It's gross. But that's it. That's all it takes. Right here. This guy. So this is going to be our paint factory. I don't need to use hyperloops because these belts should just always be full. I think. They should just always be full. So we're not going to be waiting for anything, which is nice. I don't want it to go quite that far. Oh, wait a minute. Do I? Oh, I think I do. Because my shapes are up here. I gotta get my shapes down here and figure out how this painting situation's gonna work. Oh my god. Anyway, I think that is a next episode problem. For now, we at least have all of the colors and we're ready to rock and roll, get our painting factory up and running. Man, oh man, that was a nightmare. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. But it should work. I think it's gonna work. Again, I haven't really had a chance to try a lot of this stuff to know for sure. As soon as we start running the MAM, we will know if it's working or not. I think it's gonna work. Damn. I wonder if we should be putting some storages. It's probably a good idea just to build some buffers. I don't think it's a bad idea. And then if we ever need more paint for a short period of time, we will have it. So actually, that's probably a good idea. Maybe we'll be able to produce more than one full belt at a time doing that with this storage system. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work yet. But guys, we're going to continue this series in the next episode. I hope you're liking this series so far, and I'm sorry about this. It is a nightmare. I could try to go through it again and clarify it a little bit more, but it's just a huge mess. Just in really simple terms, all I'm doing in this part of the factory is checking which pieces are the same color, merging them together, and then over here checking if things are smelted. If they're not smelted, I just skip this whole portion of the factory. It doesn't even go in here. So this whole thing just gets whooped right over. It's so nice, actually. So anyway, guys, I hope you're liking this series so far. If you are, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. We post daily videos and you don't want to miss any of them. Other than that, guys, I'll see you next time.